I wanted to do a video today about a feature that I've never used. Now, this is the page that I'm used to seeing, and then on a gig I might sometimes go in here, and you know, you might sometimes need to change the odd bits, whatever. So you might need to go and change the balance of your drive amp or your clean amp. You might sometimes decide, oh, I need to go into my cab and change the high cut. Either way, it's, you know, bending over, getting down there into the menu system. Particularly these days I use FM9 edit more than anything, where if you press page across, you see here we've got this use FM9 edit to add controls to the perform tab. That's what I want to do in this video, and see what we can get at this perform page, which I've never really... So these videos are brought to you by G66 UK, which is your place to get an FM3, FM9, Axfex 3 or VP4 within the UK with no waitlist and a UK service centre. The page that we're interested in here is obviously going to be perform. So this is my first time seeing this. I thought maybe it'd be, you know, vaguely interesting to try this. So we've got global performance controls. So amp 1 input drive, amp 1 master volume, amp 1 level, that kind of thing. Drag and drop any control from the bottom panel to the performance control slots below. Controls in the bottom panel are disabled unless you hold shift. Double click to edit any performance control label. To change blocks while in this view, use the blue triangle towards the top left of the bottom panel. So global and then per preset. So global performance controls, amp 1 bass, amp 1 mid. To me, not that important. So we could totally clear global performance controls. So what are some things that I think might be important? From the bottom panel to the performance control. So I think this level here, amp 1 level, could be important. Yes, so it depends what channel you're going to be on. So I could change my channel now. So this is my global levels now. So now amp 1 comes along. So I could change the level between those bits and pieces. So that's global performance. Another thing I thought could be useful was if we went into our output 1 block, scene levels, can we access that through here? That's just a global scene level. You could do something crazy like that. Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. So you could do something like this even. That's a thing you could do if you wanted to. So that could be a quick way to balance your scenes like that. Let me just continue to work this through in my head. So amp 1 level, and my boost is controlled by the enhance block. So the level there, the enhance. So that sets my boost level, that sets my amp level. Now, other things that I might want to adjust here. Let's think about this. So a reverb level, probably. Mix, just in general, might not be a bad idea. We'll put that there. I think that switches between scenes as well. What else could we put up that might be worth changing? We've got multiple delays, phases, pitch, stuff like that. This is another thing I use actually, so I'm going to change this. Ooh. If we go here, and my input level, my input block, I actually change this output level. So if I'm going with a fairly hot guitar, like a Les Paul, or going between Telly and Les Paul, sometimes I will change this particular block here, you know, depending on the gig, and that's kind of a useful thing. So this is our dotted delay. So we could change the level of that if we wanted to. So now if I turn on the dotted delay, just scroll across, boost that. But now I do have a fairly simple way to balance input level clean and lead boost Now, if we were doing, is there something more adventurous that we could do with this? Let's look into this a bit. So you could do, obviously, that per preset as well. I'm just thinking about what if I have this slightly more ambient sort of preset. We could have this. So for this preset, say I had something that was running off of this, just with my knob now, I can press run or stop on this. So I've just adjusted the run now. So if I, for instance, had, let's imagine a situation where I've got, I don't think, like a filter. So come off the performance page, this filter here, controlled by LFO 1. Create your own effects. The other thing, you could affect sort of weird stuff, or you know, even like for this particular thing here, what I might like to do, because it's kind of an ambient effect, what if I had a completely new delay block here. Let's go across into my reverb. Now what I'm going to have is a delay, and hopefully this will work. So delay, digital mono or digital stereo, that's kind of doesn't matter too much. What I'm going to do is go into perform and repeat stack hold, put a knob here for that. So I could reach down and I've got a knob here that now can go between, I'm just turning the knob here, stack or hold. So let's see, can we get this to work? So I want this to, right, I need to get off perform, turn the mix all the way up. Now we could put, for example, so this we could control the mix. Let's move that down to here. So we're going to unbypass it. So I'm going to go into perform, and we're going to control the mix of our pitch feedback with this knob. So I could now bring that in or out. Use the knob, get rid of the hold. I could stop running that filter. Although that is still running. So why is that still running? Let's go into our ADSR. ADSR LFO1, 2 should be stopped. So those are just some other things that we could do with that performance. A really useful sort of window of the FM9, FM3 Axe-Fx experience that up until this point I've not really used. So for here, like balancing levels on an actual gig, you know, find those controls that are actually essential for how you do that and drop them into your global performance page. Being a bit more creative with stuff, you could consider putting in essentially like extra controls that can enable you to do things a little bit more on the fly. And again, that could be something equally like there's some gigs where there might be one specific song where it's like, actually, I want a bit more of a country sound, like a bit more of a low gain thing. Could I jump into the per preset and drop the gain down so that it's a bit more suitable for that song? Absolutely. And I'd be more comfortable doing that than going into the actual editing page and stuff like that. So let me know your thoughts on some of that in the comments. This is an area of the Eigene Effekte and FM9 Fractal experience that is new to me. So yeah, I don't know, something to think about a little bit. You can have a library of different performance controls as well. So kind of interesting, I think. Catch you in another video soon. Cheers.